What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd Hole Dragon Ball Z Rewatch Cast, where each month Will and I sit down and cover a few episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Now, I have seen every episode, but Will has only seen a handful of episodes in his entire life.
That's right.
So, we've watched every episode of Dragon Ball, and now we're in the Frieza saga. So we've seen a lot of Dragon Ball over the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Kind of kind of crazy to think of how much we've seen. But yeah, so we usually cover about anywhere from 10 to 15 episodes depending on how long the saga is. Um Last week we did the Ginyu and a little bit of the Frieza saga. This week is all Frieza, and next week is also the end of the Frieza saga, or next month is the end of the Frieza saga. So, um, yeah, so let's get into it. I'll always ask Will, what are your thoughts on this section that we watched?
it was, I don't know, it was like I think like the middle for me kind of blurred out a little bit.
Hmm.
It got a little, I don't know how to really explain it. It just got to this point where like every episode was very similar in the middle,
Yeah.
and they didn't really do a lot of like stuff wasn't really moving along. And then
Mm.
Goku came, and then it was good for a stretch, and then it felt like the same episode again, like similar things were happening again.
Yeah.
And I didn't dislike it. They definitely break the mold in a couple areas that I didn't anticipate, but overall, I didn't dislike it. It just felt like, well, I don't know how many we watched, but it just felt like those could have been probably like 6 episodes, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They stretch out a lot of stuff for airtime for sure.
Yeah,
That is one of like the complaints from like non-fans is that every episode is just like people like punching and missing and then being like, well, I gotta use more power.
sure, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it for me was in like the middle stretch was just like, they're fighting and then it would cut and then it would just like and they did it a couple times and I know they
Mhm.
were intentionally doing it, but I didn't enjoy it. Was they would be like, "Oh man, now it's about to get interesting," and then they're like, "Let's go back to Earth and talk to Miss Dr. Briefs," and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Nope."
What's Chi-Chi doing though?
Yeah, or it would be
Remember the
like,
gang from Dragon Ball? What are they up to?
yeah. And it was like, all right, well, this thing's happening. And it's like, well, what if we have this long, drawn out conversation between a dying Vegeta and Goku? I was just like, okay,
Oh, oh, so you're not a fan of that.
that sequence?
Yeah.
Not overly.
Interesting. Hmm. That bums me out a little bit because that's like such a great character arc like for both of them.
I, yeah, yeah.
I mean, so here you have, so here you have Vegeta, who's like horrible. He shows up to
Right.
Earth and he's horrible.
Right.
And now he's crying and pleading to Goku to just destroy Frieza at all cost.
Yes, yeah.
Like that's pretty, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, I don't disagree that like what he was saying and like what he was trying to convey to Goku like
You
didn't
know.
make sense.
Are
It
you
just
saying
would
more of like just that they're talking during like a fight and everybody just
yes.
stands around? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you. I'm with you. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of just like, hey, so why don't you guys just like join in and help out? Or like, hey, why is Frieza just letting this happen? Or why
Right.
are you letting
Yeah.
him transform? Like, why are you just
Yes.
standing here watching? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing in Star Trek. Well, it's
Yes.
if they did, there's no
No,
story.
I understand. I get it. It's just like it's just I try very hard
Yeah.
to like suspend it. But then when they do it like six or seven times, I check out because it's like I can handle once or twice, maybe even three times, but once it
Yeah.
gets like, oh, Frieza's transforming for the third or fourth time, it's like, okay,
And
like
a thing for you to remember too, and I think you know this, but this was a comic book that was adapted to a
yes,
TV show, and we've
yes,
seen a lot of times now where like, hey, this wasn't in it at all. This is just to flush out TV time.
yeah, which makes me sad.
Yeah, but I want you to experience it all. I thought about us watching not abridged, watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, where
Oh,
it's like it's very chopped into, the more manga centric, where it's just like cuts out all the Bulma stuff, cuts out all the Chi-Chi Earth stuff. It's just very they don't do like full episodes that are like super long of people just staring at each other, and it's very much like shot for shot quick, a lot quicker.
yeah,
But
it's okay. I mean, this is
I
what
want
they
you to see,
released, so yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no, I get it.
and like,
I didn't dislike it. It was trying. There were just episodes where it was just very trying.
yeah. No, I get that. I get that for sure. There are a lot of things that happen that you're just like, you know, like,
Hmm.
okay,
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, let's just all stand around and do nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So
Okay.
that's pretty much what Dragon Ball Z
No,
is
and
a
I
lot
know.
of this
Yeah,
this kind of stuff.
I try very hard to like not be so like anal about it, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's just tough because like the thing that I think for me what happens is like I'll get interested. I'll get like reinvested into like the story or the fight or whatever they're trying to
Hmm.
drive, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I'm fine with cliffhangers. I know it's like 20 minutes. They're gonna hang their hat on this thing and it's gonna
Yeah.
wrap up and you're not gonna get closure. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. But then when you come back next episode, it's like nothing happens. And you're just like,
Yeah.
okay. And it's like, oh, but the last 2 minutes,
Are
all
really
this
good.
insane
Yeah.
stuff happens, and then it's like, well, I gotta watch the next step. It's like, and that's what I get. That's what gets me. It's like I
Yeah.
have to sit through, 17, 18 minutes of pretty kind of nothing to get to 2 minutes of content. Like of like
That's
progressing the story that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what most episodes are. It's like the end of the episode is good, the next episode starts, the end of that episode is good. It's like
Right, right,
the
yeah.
thing that I hate that they do is like they'll have an ending where it's like something happens and then like the next episode will start and it goes back
Oh, that, yes. That
and
happens.
it changes dialogue too. It's like yeah, they think they do it with the Ginyu Bulma thing where
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think
they
the
show all this and they're like, "Oh, it's Ginyu, let's attack him." And then the
yes.
next episode starts and it goes back and they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, that
And it's
was
like
that
completely different writing, different.
yeah.
It's like, why are we doing this?
That was one of them. That totally I was just like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
But we'll break it down. We usually go episode to episode, so.
We usually do, but not tonight. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so we covered 78 to 91.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll just go through. The other thing that irritates me is a lot of these episodes are very the name of these episodes are very spoiler.
Yes.
You know, I created like a Google Docs for us of all the
Oh yeah.
episodes,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are just like spoiler, 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 spoiler. Episode 85, spoiler. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you watch it and it's like Dende gets blown up. That's the name of the episode. You're like, why is that the name of the episode?
Yep.
I've never seen this before. Who is Dende? All right, so episode 78 is Fighting Power 1 million. If I'm remembering correctly, this is the one that shows like a lot of Vegeta's backstory, right? You see his dad,
This was the thing that you kind of talked about a while ago, which was Frieza kills Vegeta and blows up Vegeta
and
and then
then
recruits
enslaves
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Yeah.
Me, my son of the planet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But it's cool, right? It's cool getting to see like King Vegeta.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed seeing that and how the other two there, Zarbon and
Yeah. They're a part of it.
Dodoria, like they were like a part of it and like kind of there from the beginning.
Yep. And you get to see him blow up the planet.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was.
Um,
But then you get to see it
even
different way later too.
you do, yeah. But I think in this original scene too, you see like the when he's throwing the bomb at the planet, you see the guy that's like, no, like in the front with the bandana.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
So you see him there, and you're like, oh, cool. I think he mentions him in a later episode too. But yeah, that's Bardock.
Yeah, the later, not in this episode, they
He
when Vegeta is telling Goku about everything, they cut to Bardock dying the way that you're talking about.
you do yeah, but in this episode I do remember like when Vegeta because I was paying attention because I was like I wonder if this is gonna be a continuity thing where like they don't even
Oh,
show him. They show him there. He's like in the
wow.
group of Saiyans and he's in the like front
Oh,
and you
yes.
see him. You see him
Yes.
die and you're just like, well, there's just a bunch of Saiyans. But then later on when Vegeta or when Frieza is like, oh yeah, Bardock and he's like showing his father die.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Yeah,
do remember this now. Yes, yes,
it's
yes.
cool. It was cool to see them show that
Yes, I do remember that
because I
now.
was wondering. But also like Saiyans can breathe in space question mark?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like
Because
they
they're all
can't
just
because they
out there.
have. Seems like they can't because they have pods, but then at the same time, I don't know. Maybe
But
they
in that they're
can.
in space when Frieza throws the ball at the planet and they're all just out there in space.
True.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Sure we won't ever see that again.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember what else happens in this episode. I think Krillin gets attacked in this one, right?
Yes, this is the one that ends with. So basically, it opens up with him
Oh,
killing King Vegeta and blowing up Planet Vegeta, and then takes on his second form where he has like the crazy like bull horns,
oh yeah.
and
Oh,
then
oh, oh. He's a deeper voice.
yeah, and then
Oh, he
um
gets Krillin right through the stomach. That's right.
yeah, gets him.
It's pretty brutal, right?
Well, I was like, oh wow, that's pretty rough. And I don't know if it's this episode or the next episode, But what he does afterwards, I was like, oh, okay, like that. Legitimately, I did not think they were going to do that. It was pretty graphic for the cartoon to do that.
Mm.
I don't think it's this
Oh,
episode.
where he licks the blood off his face.
No, 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 no. But
Oh,
yes, but no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's a pretty brutal. Uh,
It's rough. It's rough.
did you, before we get into that, did you, how do you feel about all of Frieza's transformations?
Um, Somewhere in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that like he had other forms, so it wasn't like super mind-blowy that he could do that.
Yeah.
Um, but I also like he doesn't really explain it, so I'm also kind of
Mm,
like, why? I get that like I get the point is that he's getting stronger so he can fight more people, but at the same time, they don't really explain like what's that doing to him. Like
yeah.
it's just showing that he's like changing. And I'm like,
Well,
okay,
other
but
than it's just him just like showing just how outmatched they really are. It
right,
is
right,
about it.
right.
Yeah. But
It's just like
when you picture Frieza, you picture like the last one, right? Like the long tail, like like short one, the one that like Goku fights at the
yeah,
yeah.
I think so. I think so. I
You
have to
don't
wait
picture the
until
alien one, the the one from Ridley
yeah,
Scott's universe.
the the robot. Remember, I was gonna bring that up to you.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought the robot was, I was like, oh, is that like made by Frieza's people or something?
that's
Like,
funny. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's
but
funny when we talked about that episode, I was like in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, it's like very familiar, but like, yeah, that's one of Frieza's transformations. He's got like the long,
yeah,
xenomorph looking
yeah, yeah,
spiky, yeah. Oh, and Krillin's like, oh, he's gonna be even uglier.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep, pretty crazy. Yeah, so I don't yeah. Gohan like rushes in to attack him,
Yeah.
but he gets pwned pretty good, I think. Yeah. So episode 79 is, speaking of that, is Gohan attacks.
Gohan attacks.
Yeah. I don't think he uses his rage, but I don't think he lands any hits on Frieza, if I remember correctly.
I think he hits him a couple times, but then and he goes like, oh, but then it's like he kind of like smacks him away, I think. But
Hmm.
this is the episode where the thing I was talking about, it opens up and he is like, "Giddy up, little horsey," and he's like
Oh
walking
yeah.
his like impaled body, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's
Oh yeah.
crazy,
That's
dude.
bad, yeah.
That's crazy."
So here's this beloved character, Krillin, who's getting just slammed around with a spike through his gut.
I was like, "This is nuts." He leaves him up there for a long time too, and then he whips him into the water.
Bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But we learned that Dende has healing powers.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I don't know. Is it this? I don't think it's this stretch. I don't think it's this episode.
Um, it says Gohan is seriously wounded while battling Frieza, but a renewed Krillin healed by Dende manages to stall Frieza long enough for Dende to restore Gohan's health.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, because remember Krillin jumps back up like as as Gohan's getting like just pummeled. He jumps up on the rock and he like bends over and like slaps his butt to have like Frieza
Yeah,
chase him
I remember that Dende gets him,
out of the water.
and
That's right.
and then Um, Gohan and Vegeta. Well, Gohan is like trying to do stuff, and Vegeta's doing something. He gets beat up by Frieza, and then he's crushing his head. He's putting his head like in the ground. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
crushing Gohan's head in the ground. And then Piccolo is like flying there, and like that's it. Like that's how the episode ends with like Gohan getting his head crushed.
Gotcha. So this is just kind of explaining what happens that you don't see in the episode.
I mean, as far as I remember, that's like he
Huh.
basically like Gohan Krillin is like getting bucked around, and Gohan tries to stop him a couple times. He doesn't. He whips Krillin's body into the water. Gohan gets really angry and actually hits Frieza a couple times. And then he does the Masako or whatever it is. He does like the
Masako.
he does like the thing, and Vegeta's like, "Whoa, this is amazing." And then you see Dende get
Mm.
Krillin from the water, and then Vegeta attacks Frieza, and then Frieza doesn't really care about Vegeta and just basically beats up Gohan and then
Mm.
starts to crush Gohan's head under his foot. That's all I remember that happens in the episode.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think this is just a little mixed up here. So, episode 80 is Piccolo the Super Namek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this just kind of like this just kind of repeats what it just wrote the same thing basically for both episodes that
I see.
so this is when Krillin jumps up and leads Frieza away.
Yes.
And
This
then
is
Dende
when
heals Gohan.
he's like crushing his head and he's like doing it and Goku's like I think my son is dying and he's like but I can't leave. I'm so tired. And then all of a sudden it's like Destructo Disc and he's like and it cuts off his tail.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then I was like Destructo Disc? Who's yelling that? And then it's like it's Krillin and I was like there's no way this dude's alive. Like I do not accept that he is alive. I watched him get killed.
Hmm.
And then I don't even think it's in this episode. Maybe it is in this episode where he runs over to Gohan and he like heals Gohan on the ground. I think
I
it is.
think so. Yeah.
And um and then Krillin does the solar flare thing and he like runs away.
Hmm.
Solar flare. Yeah.
So in the I always bring up the abridged thing, but they have like Krillin come back to the group after this scene.
Ah.
And he's like, guys, you won't believe what happened. And Gohan's like, you used the solar flare to blind him and then use a destructo disc to cut his head off. And he's like, no, no, I did not do that. And then Frieza shows back up and he's like, yeah. It's just like there's like again, like you were saying, like there's so many times where you're just like,
Yeah.
why,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you could have done something better,
And then they
Yeah.
they attack him. Krillin and Gohan attack after Gohan's been healed. And then it reveals, haha. I remember, like he appears and it's Piccolo.
Yes. Yep.
And then
Yep.
Piccolo's like, I will do it. I will take care of him. I will fight him. Yeah. And
Yep. He's gonna
I
win.
think it's this one or the next one where, where Dende's like, no, it can't be. He seems so
Yeah.
different.
He looks like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So Piccolo shows up. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was good.
That's like a fun this time we were
Yeah.
waiting for Piccolo to show up, not Goku. I mean, we're still waiting for Goku to show up because obviously
Yeah.
he's the main character. But like when Piccolo finally shows up, you're like, "Oh man, that's good." Because
Yes.
Vegeta, you would think, Vegeta's just kind of standing around, not doing anything.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, it's really funny. Like
Yeah.
so far, I was with it. I was like I said to you, I was every single episode here, I was right along with it. I was like, cool. Piccolo's here. I'm ready.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so then 81 is Deja Vu. Um, Piccolo is gonna fight Frieza alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Piccolo does pretty well.
He does okay. Yeah, he doesn't yeah.
I don't remember if he
Yeah.
takes off his cape and hat in this episode.
I think it's not this episode.
No. That's when things get bad. He takes off
Yeah,
his weighted cape and hat.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not much really happens. Just like
They pretty much fight each
yeah.
other. Um, he tells him that Nail is inside him, like like Nail is a part of him.
Mhm.
Dende's like, "Oh, nice," and then Piccolo like basically gets like more powerful. He
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, he summons his super Namekian strength.
yeah.
Yeah. I do remember
And
that. That's
they're all
pretty
like,
good.
"Frieza's dead," and then it's like, "No, he's not really dead."
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah,
Like, wow, he did it. He's like, no, you're pretty stupid if you think that's over.
he's always
Yeah.
like, "Ah, did you enjoy those pancakes that you ate this morning? Because it's going to be the last breakfast that you had." He's always saying things like that. I'm just
Frieza is pretty for being as menacing as Frieza is, he says a lot of really stupid stuff, doesn't
he does. He does. He really, really does.
he? You Saiyan monkey.
I think I was still okay here. I don't know why it was called Deja Vu, but
Um,
maybe because Nail and Frieza are fighting again. I don't know, but
oh, maybe. Yeah.
this was funny.
I didn't even think about why it was called Deja Vu. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that theory that it's Nail again fighting Frieza.
Kind of what I interpreted it because
Yeah,
after it
that makes
ended, I was
sense.
like, I don't really. But at the end, Deja Vu, like the end, it's revealed. Like he outwardly reveals that Nail is a part of him. So it's like I assumed that that's where the Deja Vu was coming in from.
Yeah. Um, I enjoy that Nail can also use his voice if he wants to.
Oh yeah, that he can kind of
It's
be.
cool. Yeah, because he does that to Dende later, and it's like it's cool. Do. Yeah, so then 82 is Frieza's second transformation,
Yeah, yeah.
even though this is technically his third, well, yeah, it's his third form, second transformation. Yeah.
Yeah. This is when he turns
No.
into like the xenomorph thing.
Yes. Yeah.
They're like, oh no. And he tells them that like he still has this is he tells me he has two more. He transforms,
Mhm.
and then Vegeta, I think this is where Vegeta's like, "Oh, Dende's healing people. I got a great idea."
Yeah, he'll
And
definitely want to
then,
help me. What have I
yep.
done? What bad
Right.
things have I done to Dende and his friends?
And then I think, and then the finger things happen.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's kind of the episode.
Yeah.
I still was slightly, I still was slightly hanging in there because the Dende thing was interesting. That Vegeta was thinking that him transforming was interesting. Like, it was fine. It
Mm.
was fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
this you're right. The finger cannon thing, like, and Piccolo's just like, "Ew, ew, 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 ew," just like constantly, like over and
yeah,
over. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty bad. Yeah,
Um, is this the episode where they cut back to the King Kai stuff?
it very well could be sprinkled in. Yes,
I
he's like,
remember when they,
oh, Piccolo, he's he's too
yeah,
much for Piccolo.
there
Yeah,
were a couple really lame things that the two of them that they were all exchanging with it, and I was just like,
yeah, it's bad.
it was like, what do you mean? He can defeat him, and it's like, no, he's gonna die. He'll die. And you're like, oh, and then like 25 seconds later, they're like, but he'll beat him. And then King Kai's like, I don't think you're listening to me.
No, no, I don't think
Or,
you don't understand, you morons. Yeah,
or, or my favorite is there
he
was one.
can do it.
Yeah. Or my other favorite one. I don't know if it was this episode, but goes through it and then what the heck is his name? Yamcha is like, well, when I come back, I'll annihilate him. And I was just
Yeah. Oh boy.
like, so you had a Saiyan practically kill Goku.
He never yeah, he never fought a Saiyan. He died to a Cyberman,
Right,
which is like what they use as like, just fodder.
right.
Yeah. And
It's
now he's
like
gonna take on Frieza. Yeah. Yeah.
he knows that like Vegeta basically killed Goku, right? Essentially. And then Piccolo has two different Namekians. Like he has two Namekians fighting as one person.
Well, that doesn't mean anything to
It's just so funny. I was just like, this doesn't
him.
make any
Well,
sense.
you gotta respect that spirit. It's the spirit. Well,
No, I don't respect it.
I can take him. I used to live in the desert.
Yeah, right. Like, settle down. Settle down, me boy.
It's funny later on when they cut back to Poir and he's like, "We used to be so happy. The
Yes.
three of us used to be so happy." It's pretty funny.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
I think this is also the cool episode, though, or the last episode. I did enjoy the animation of Piccolo like charging up, where it had
Hmm.
like all those like twinkle kind of like fire things are
Yeah.
going up, and he was like, ah, and he was like, I liked the animation of that. That was
Yeah,
cool.
you can see they're starting to use that more and more in this
Yes.
section.
Yep.
That's to you, the audience knows that they're emitting radiation. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Ah.
So, 83 is another transformation?
Yep.
Again, Gohan like blazes in and just beats up Frieza for a split second.
Just a split second.
Yeah. Vegeta tells Krillin to kill him.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, oh, and then I remember Frieza's like, he gets kind of confused by Gohan and then assumes that maybe Vegeta is the father of Gohan or something.
Hmm.
or
Yeah, that's
Raditz.
right.
I don't know something, but he,
Red, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he knows there's only three. It was Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta,
that's right.
but
He's like,
he's
he looks at Vegeta and he's like, no, must be
yeah,
Raditz. Yeah,
close.
very close.
Very close. Yep. Yeah, but I do like this though. I like Vegeta's plan. I think it's an interesting,
It's an
you
interesting
know,
plan. I did not dislike it.
when you heal me, I'll be double strength, you know.
It was very bold and very pompous of him to think that like he'll just do that and then Dende will heal him. But
Oh,
it's an
absolutely.
interest
Yeah.
it's an interesting thought because
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of
And
doing
I
that.
like that Dende lets him sit in it.
Oh yeah.
Dende's like, "No, not doing that." First of all, I don't want to because you're a horrible person. And second of all, uh I can only heal people with like good hearts. So,
Yeah.
you're done. Sorry.
And then he's like, but it's okay. You still have a bad heart, but I can still the power of love. Yeah.
Yeah, I think but again, I like that scene because it's Nail specifically saying like Dende, it's okay. Like just heal him. Like we need
Right,
all the
right,
help
right.
we can get, you know. I get it, but
Yeah.
yeah. And this is and Frieza transforms again on the other side of the island. So he's like he's
Yeah.
on that little like island thing and they're all like away from him.
Yeah.
It's just all this smoke and stuff.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that like just one shot from Krillin like cripples Vegeta. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember if Vegeta was already damaged from battle,
Kind of, but not really.
but Krillin was at full strength too. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
This is
I
also where
think
they
be
go ahead.
I think maybe because like Vegeta's guards were down, he lowered his guard for that to happen. So like he wasn't trying to block a direct hit, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
Because he blasts him through the stomach pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Blam goes right out the back.
I was gonna say this is also the really cool time when they cut back to Bulma and the ground is like ripping apart. That was like
Now, is
cool.
this after they cut back to Bulma and she's running from dinosaurs, running from the blast, or
That's
is this?
after. This is
Okay,
after.
good. Yeah, yeah. They love to go back to what Bulma's doing. Like, I don't care what Bulma's doing, really, honestly, at this point.
And that's what's sad is like she's the whole reason
Yeah,
why they're here, and then when they cut back, they're just like, nah, who cares?
they gave her one time when she went into that village and she's like, "Oh my God, it's so much worse than I thought." And I've been giving
Right.
everybody a hard time because I've been left here and I want to be involved, but this everything is so bad on this planet. And then that's gone, immediately gone, and now she's just
Oh
horrible
yeah.
again. Yeah, she's pretty bad. She's
She's
pretty bad.
pretty terrible. And
That's why
it's
you've enjoyed this first section because you haven't seen her yet.
yeah. It's yeah.
Yep.
I don't
But
know.
that's how it goes. And she's so bored she makes a translator for a frog. But that's a whole other.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's a, as you know from your background, you know
Oh
that's a
yeah.
thing coming. So.
Yep. Coming. Oh, it's
I think in the original airing too of this, I think all of the blood was removed.
oh
So there was like no blood in this show on Toonami.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Make that would make sense.
Not that there's a lot of it, but this was also like the 90s and
Yeah. Yeah.
bloody cartoons weren't a thing.
No. No. Yeah. Like I said, it was pretty surprising a couple stuff they did in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really like how Dende leaves Vegeta just in the dirt there for a little bit just to die.
Like,
I
well,
do enjoy it.
yeah.
Yeah, so then the next episode, 84, is called wow. Dende's Demise. I wonder what happens in this one.
Yeah, I was legitimately surprised with this title. Obviously, it gives it
Mhm.
away long before the part happens in the
Well, yeah,
book.
because it happens at
So,
the end, like always.
right.
Yeah.
Um, but it didn't. Remember, it didn't happen at the end. It happens like in the opening few. It happens like within the first 3 or 4 minutes of the episode.
It's the first thing Frieza does after he transforms.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, like it. They
They finally
don't.
got a title right.
Right? Yeah, and I was like, okay, and they fight, and then Vegeta is like trying to do all the stuff to him, and then he's like, I am a Super Saiyan and I will take on everything and I am the
Hmm.
strongest there possibly is. And then he doesn't do anything.
He
Like
saves Gohan,
he does get go yeah, yeah.
but I think that happens early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he knocks Gohan out of the way.
Yeah.
And he claims it's because we need all the people we can get.
This is
But then he
like the
says, I'm gonna fight Frieza alone.
right. And then this is the episode where he he like is fighting him, he can't find him, and then he's like down on the island and he's like, oh, I've been here waiting this whole time.
Hmm.
And basically Vegeta kind of puts it together that like he can't beat Frieza.
No. The thing about Dragon Ball Z that they've always done that I enjoy is that you have these moments where these characters are so like just like, pompous
Yeah.
and so like confident. And then you get to like watch them come to the realization that like they're not going to be able
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to do it. And it
Yeah.
goes both ways. It goes, the bad guys and sometimes the good guys. That happens. And it's fun. It's like this scene where Vegeta comes to the realization that like, oh, I'm not a Super Saiyan. Is such
Right.
it's so yeah. It's a pretty serious blow.
Yeah. It was a thing where up until this episode, which again, this is like I guess like 4 episodes past, 4 or 5 episodes past. And I was just kind of like, I was kind of annoyed at the whole time. Like, Frieza is just floating or standing somewhere, and he's just like,
Hmm.
oh, that sucks. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, wow. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you definitely don't want to like help in any way.
Mm-mm.
You just got to stand there and like just not do anything and just be like, he's so powerful. And I'm just like, okay. Then he gets this bright idea to get near death, and then he comes back and he's like, now I'm the strongest there ever will be. And he's like, nope, you can't. You can't defeat him. And I was just like, well, okay. That's kind of when I started to check out. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Because they're showing you that like, that's how strong Frieza is that every time they think they have like an upper hand, like they really don't,
Right, 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 right.
you know. And here's the thing that you know going into this is that you know Goku's going to be the one that's going to have to like fight him.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So all this is just chipping away armor until the main guy gets there, you know?
Till the main guy gets there.
Yeah.
And
This episode.
that's at the
Yeah,
end
so
of this next.
yeah, so 80 so 85 is the renewed Goku. It is funny every time they pan over to Goku's capsule and he's just like, "Oh, gotta get out there. Everyone's dying, but still pretty tired.
Yeah,
I
the thing
still don't feel 100%."
the thing that like I I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I didn't like it and I don't know. But it was when he was like, I gotta get out of here and he was like, no, I'm so tired. And it's like, minutes are passing by essentially, and then he's like, I'm fine now.
Well,
And
yeah,
I was
because the
just like,
time frame is so wacky, right? It's
yeah. I know it's like week to week and it's like 20 minutes are passing, but when you really think about it, like these fights are only lasting like a few minutes.
yeah, because they show him like you said, he's like, "Oh, not yet, not yet." And then Frieza beats Vegeta with his tail for like 5 minutes
Right.
until he's almost dead. And then Goku's like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm 100%."
Yeah, right. And I was just like, I don't think so.
So again, in abridged, it's Goku's in the chamber and he's singing something. I forget what he's singing, but King Kai talks to him, through his
Yeah.
mind, and he's like, "Goku, you gotta get out there. You gotta help. It's bad." He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not done yet." And he's like, "Well, how long is it gonna be?" He's like, "I don't know. I don't know."
Yeah.
And as he's talking, he's like, the the pod goes like ding, and he's like, "I'm done," and he like blasts out.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
And that's pretty much how it is. It's like, what's your gauge? I don't understand. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm under the opinion like don't show that at all. It's like you have to show Goku because like everyone's like, when's Goku gonna be here?
Yes.
But like if he just showed up, it'd be so
Right.
much better, right?
Yes. Yes.
Every episode being like, oh, somebody's power's going down. Who is
Yeah.
that?
Like
Oh,
don't
somebody's power's going up.
because there was another thing too that drove me nuts. He was like, he can sense all these things, and then he's like, well, I don't know what that thing is. And then the next episode, he's like, oh wow, he's so much powerful. And I'm like, you just said you didn't know who had all that power. Like it's like what pick a lane, pick a lane. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's all
I know.
these like it's all these little cuts and stuff. But I will tell you that which I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's basically like this episode and I think the next episode
Yeah.
and maybe even the third episode, I was like, I struggled bust through them. Only
Hmm.
because it's like Vegeta, right? Because we're on 85, right?
We're on 85, yes.
Okay. Vegeta is like, okay, gonna attack him, do all the stuff to Frieza. They fight for a little bit. He does this really cool charge up thing. I like all that stuff. Like I enjoy the
Mhm.
animation. I enjoy seeing him go like yeah, and he's like all the energy is coming off of him, and they do some cool stuff. All that stuff's good, and I like all of the attacks that he does on Frieza. It's fascinating. But then it just ends up with Vegeta like getting his butt handed to him,
Yeah.
and you're like okay, and then he just starts to strangle him, and then he's just punching him and punching him and punching him
Ooh,
and
kidney
punching
shot, kidney shot, kidney
him.
shot.
And then he starts like coughing up blood, and I was just like, oh no. And then the three of them are just like, that's really bad looking. And I was
I
like, you're not gonna do anything?
no, no. I know. And there's a few like throwaway lines where Piccolo's like, we're not like stronger than Vegeta, so like we can't do anything about this. And it's like, yeah, but
You can try
if all
something.
four of you, I mean, your combined power is probably okay, you know?
Right. And also, like, you did just use Destructo Disc and, like, cut off his tail. And I know that's like a lower transformation, but, like, you can try. You can at least maybe distract them enough so that Vegeta isn't dying. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah. You could prevent him from being dead, right?
Yeah. And then I was like, and then the episode ends, and Goku's like, oh. And then he breaks everything, which I was just like, okay, I don't know why that has to happen, but okay. He's just like, ah, and he's just like literally Goku
You
is just
gotta
breaking everything.
you gotta break out of there, you know. You can't save it, you know. I
Yeah.
think because like a technician has to actually open the pod
Okay.
is the
Okay.
thing, you know,
That makes
because
sense.
Frieza breaks out of the other one.
Yes.
Remember, he breaks out of there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which made me laugh because I was just like, well, there goes that thing. Um,
Yeah, you gotta break out. It's cool. Plus, yeah, plus I don't think there's a guy there to open it from the outside.
yeah.
But isn't this great though when Goku shows up and he's just like phew, and he's just there.
Well, he says like, well, good thing they're close, but I think this is the next episode because he doesn't go there at the end of that episode. He just is
He
like
just
he's
breaks
standing
out.
on the spaceship.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, or that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. I'm picking up readings that direction from some annoying idiot. What could the heck? What could that be? That's weird. Anyway, all the powers on this side. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 86 is the end of Vegeta. Another spoiler title, huh?
Yep.
But this is kind of surprising, right? Were you surprised that Vegeta was in fact dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh, okay. Like he's like, oh, he's dying, and that's it. He's dead. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then he's like, one more thing, Kakarot. And I was like, oh, okay.
He killed our entire race.
And then he goes to
Down.
this like flashback, and I was like, oh, okay. Like they're just like doing this for the sake of like people who don't really understand what's happening here. And I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm fine with this. And then they come back and he's like, yes. And then Frieza's like, ugh, like, are you seriously going to keep talking? And I was like, wait a minute. He actually just sat here and talked to Goku like that much about all of that. I was like, get out of town with
Yeah.
this. And
But
then he
then
was like,
Frieza gives him a flashback too.
yeah, right, right. And I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah. Well, you gotta put in information somewhere, right? So this is
I
the episode where he's like, "Hey, so your dad was Bardock."
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But yeah, I know. It's a weird place to do it because you're in the middle of this life or death battle.
yes,
But also this is how Frieza is. He's cocky and confident and he doesn't mind explaining to you things that he's done because he knows that he's just gonna kill you. So
right, right, right.
he likes taking his time and having fun, and that's why he, you know, makes Vegeta's death so long and drawn out, just because he enjoys it, you know?
Yes,
Yeah. But this is cool, right? We finally get to see a little bit of like Goku's backstory a little bit, right? With
a
like his
little bit,
dad.
a little bit. Yeah, See, I'm not there yet, and it's okay because like you're already there because you know what happened and you understand the progression of the story.
Hmm.
But I'm not there yet with Vegeta like crying and coughing up blood and being really sad. Like I'm
Mm.
not at the point where I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, redemption. I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm just like, okay,
Well, yeah, he's still a bad guy, right? He's not,
right,
like this isn't going to make him good. And I think that's the thing that makes Vegeta endearing is that he's never going to be like Goku. He's never going to be just this jolly,
right,
idiot.
right, right, right,
He's a prince. He's a warrior.
right.
He has a lot of good in him,
Yeah,
but you know, it's cool. I hope you start to dig
yeah. I'm sure as
Vegeta.
time goes on, I'll feel differently about him. It's just as like I still always think of like Piccolo still being like Piccolo Jr. and he's not like a good guy. Like he's
Yeah.
helping, but it's like it's all this like, well, he's helping at this moment because if he doesn't, the other bad guy will kill everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like their motivations are not always the strongest. It's not until Nail embodies him that he like
Yeah.
kind of changes as a
That's
person.
true. That's true. Yeah, and Vegeta is not like Piccolo in that sense where
Right.
Vegeta is just who he is,
Yeah,
and he always will be that, you know.
yeah. And sadly for me, like I'm not trying to downplay his death. Like it's a major character, but it just was like all I really saw, I didn't really see the person who has been abused
Mm,
and like conditioned by Frieza
no.
and forced to do it. All I saw was he's not getting what he wanted, so you have to do it. And Goku is like such the opposite of that. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't just kill people because they're bad. He always like he literally says in the sequence,
You can't be
like, well, yeah,
merciful with
right,
Frieza. Yeah.
right. And Goku's like, well, we have to give him a chance, and Vegeta's like, no, you can't. And then he explains everything to him.
Vegeta is Frank Castle. That's what Vegeta is. He's the
Yes,
Punisher. But
yes,
and I'll agree with you. They set this up where like he's he was the victim of Frieza. But like not really. I mean,
not really.
his entire race is killed, his dad is killed. He wants revenge for that, obviously. He wants to
Right,
kill
right,
Frieza for that.
right.
Um, but let's be honest, he enjoyed taking over planets.
Yes, yes,
He got some enjoyment out of it, right? He's not just like well, I had to take over that planet because Frieza would kill me if I didn't. It's like, no,
right,
he enjoys it. They stop
right.
at that planet on the way to Earth just to have fun, you know?
Because all he would do is literally get one of the other people, whatever they're called, the Frieza people, to like beat him up, and then he would go in the medical thing and just keep getting stronger, like keep doing this
Secretly
loop,
like training. Yeah.
but doing it secretly so Frieza didn't know, and then one day turning on Frieza and like trying to attack him. Instead, he doesn't do
Yep.
any of that, and then suddenly when Frieza's gonna get the Dragon Balls and basically rule the galaxy or rule the universe. Vegeta's like, I can't have that because I want to rule the universe. And then it doesn't go the
I
way he
think
wants
so.
it to go. And
Yeah.
then he's like, then he's just stuck in a rock in a hard place. And then,
They both were fighting for like immortality, so like the
right,
other couldn't become like the sole ruler of the galaxy.
right, right. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're two bad guys fighting over being immortal. And then when things don't go his way, he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'll just become stronger. I'll utilize this kid and take advantage of this kid to get my way." And then then he's so haughty about it, and then gets killed. And then it's like, "No, you have to kill him." And it's just
Yeah.
like yes, yes, I get what he's saying to Goku, and he's trying to also like reach Goku's like heart and his mind that like Frieza is different. He's not
Hmm.
like me. He's not like Piccolo. He's not like
Yeah.
Tien. He's not like any of the guys who fought and made good guys like Yamcha, right? Like all the guys that are in his crew, Oolong, they were all bad guys. And now they're good guys, right? It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like Frieza isn't that type of a person. He will always try to kill you. I get what Vegeta's point to him is, but it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And the only, I guess the only like devil's advocate that I will play to that
yeah,
is if Frieza never took over the Saiyan race,
mhm,
they would have never become planet conquerors for him.
true.
So in a way, Vegeta Jr.
Yeah,
like became a warrior for Frieza because Frieza would destroy the
yeah,
Saiyans if they didn't become like his warrior race.
which makes sense. Yeah, and
So
we're so
I think that's what he's leaning into. It's like, hey, I'm like this because of Frieza. Like,
yeah,
my father and I wouldn't have been like this if not.
and we're supposed to like forget the other class of people,
Yeah.
right? Are we supposed to?
You're talking about the other Saiyans that King Kai mentioned that maybe is not canon.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea because King Kai's story is completely different than from what actually happened. So
Or was it
I don't know
Kami? Was
if
it King Kai or Kami? I just don't remember.
I
I'm just asking you. I don't
think it
remember.
was Kai. I think King Kai was
King Kai?
talking
Okay.
about,
Okay. I just remember it was like, oh, well, all these people.
yeah, these people rised up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't know. That story was like, hey, this is kind of what a Saiyan is. Like they're the bad guys. And then when we meet them on Earth, it's like, well, but they work for this guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I don't know if that story, maybe at the beginning of time, but that was, I don't know. I don't know if any of that is true or if that's just kind of what King Kai had heard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I just remember them being like a thing. Like they introduce all that stuff and then they don't kind of really talk about them ever again.
Yeah. No. No, yeah. I
I
was
mean, so
surprised when we
far.
watched that episode that I was like, this is not what the Saiyans are. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, but then so Goku buries him too.
Yeah, which I thought was a weird thing.
Well, he uses he uses like Superman heat rays out of his eyes to like blast that hole
Yeah,
too. And he's like,
he does. I was like,
Phew! Oh man.
there is a lot of, and I try not to talk about it a lot. There is a lot of like
Superman,
Superman,
yeah.
like connections, like
Hmm.
stories and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's a lot of Superman
Yeah,
stuff.
Toriyama had come out and said that he loved Superman and that kind of stuff, and he blended that, the Tale of the West and Superman together. This alien from space lands on Earth, and he's also a
Right,
monkey king, and
right, right, right.
yeah,
Just
yeah, it's
interesting
it's fun.
because like his whole. That's the thing that I get sad about in movies, Superman movies, is like Superman is like Goku. He
Hmm.
always thinks the best of people and he always gives people the second chance. And he always is like, well, we don't have to murder everybody.
Yeah.
But then you go to watch a movie and he's like,
Hmm.
everyone hates me and I'm so sad and I sulk up in the clouds. And it's like, that's not what
I
Superman is.
don't know why they do that. Yeah, I don't know. And then they make Batman this like depressed, like emo cave
Yeah.
dweller, and it's like you guys don't understand these characters.
Nope.
It's like the Punisher. They've forgotten over the years what Punisher actually stood for. It's like, oh,
Right.
he just kills people. It's like, no, he doesn't just kill people, but that's fine. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting thing. And it kind of made me, it was kind of one of those things where he's burying him. And I was like, so
I'm
we're,
burying you.
yeah, yeah. And I was just like, so. Frieza's okay with this. Okay, I was like, whatever.
It's too good for that Saiyan monkey. I'd say it's too good for. Yeah, all right. He gives him that whole speech like, "Oh, a
Yeah.
shallow grave on a desolate planet. I'd say it's too good." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you it's funny too. I think in certain scenes, like so this scene specifically,
Okay.
you can tell that there's a like severe height difference
Oh, yeah.
between like Frieza and Goku. Because when you see him transform, it's like he's not really super,
No.
like doesn't
Yeah,
appear
yeah,
that
yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
when Goku shows up, you're like, oh yeah, he's very short.
He's tiny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Mm.
There's a reason that, he's not as like fast and powerful like when he's that bigger version of him.
I see.
More muscle, more mass,
Yeah.
slower. So that's cool. Yeah, so then Goku's about to fight Frieza. So 88 is Clash of the Superpowers.
Yeah.
Um
This is where they.
Goku fires two Kamehameha torpedoes from underwater. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he swims
Uh,
away, right? He swims away.
yeah.
Now here's the thing, right? And I don't know the answer to this, but do you have to say Kamehameha?
Kind of seems like it.
But it was underwater. So can you think it in your brain?
He might have said it with bubbles.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't
He
know.
also sometimes uses the Kamehameha and doesn't make the whole like hand
True.
motion. He just goes Kame and he like makes the orbs and
Yes.
it's like, but the Kamehameha is the form, right? No, I don't know.
I don't know. Seems
Like
like it, but I don't know.
don't make him say it, just make him like create the orbs. I mean, he has
Yeah.
Kai, he uses ki, chi, he
Yeah.
can just
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. He figures out pretty quickly that like Frieza can't sense energy, so
Yeah.
he's shooting the laser beams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't hit him because he can't sense his energy.
This 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 stretch was I
Yeah.
it was fine,
Uh-huh.
but then it was totally a Superman video game where they're attacking each other and then he's like boom and he blows up the ground and then
Oh,
like all the magma's coming out and he's like no, not the magma. No, no. And then he's like using all of his powers to like stop the magma from overflowing. And then he's like, if we're gonna fight Frieza, you leave the planet out of it. And I was just like, okay.
and Goku has to like hold on to that ledge so he doesn't fall in the lava.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because he can't fly. You know.
No, can't do it. Barely can do it. My
It's pretty
butt's
funny.
on fire.
You gotta have a little bit of comedy.
Oh yeah.
But that's the other critique from Dragon Ball fight scenes is just one person punches you through a mountain and then he comes back out and he punches the other guy through the mountain and
Yeah.
buries him through the ground and it's like there's these big set pieces and you just blah 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 through the mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's gotta be dead. And it's just like, and then it's just like a light shower and it's like boom. And it's like, yeah. That's what it is. 30
Yeah,
minutes of people
it is.
screaming and two punches. And I love every second of it.
The
Yeah.
so we're almost there.
Okay.
So no joke, I legitimately have no idea where it's going. I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
I remember certain things about the Goku Frieza battle, but the way things are going, I don't know if it's this battle or another battle or something else. Like I don't know.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when Bulma is out on the thing and she's hanging out wherever she is,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden all those frogs come all over her
Ugh, yeah.
and then jumps on her. I was like, oh wow,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
right. Ginyu's a frog. And then there was a whole bunch of them, and I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, oh, I wonder if Ginyu's gonna be one of those frogs. And I just kind of like had
Yeah.
that in the back of my head, but not like a
Ribbit.
right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't keep it really in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. Because you're like, hey, that would be ridiculous.
I I just thought like I just didn't think they would bring that back. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that they would.
And why now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want the Frieza and Goku stuff to go too quick. You don't want to.
No, of course. Well, that's very clear.
Yeah. You gotta break it up a little bit. Hey, what's Chi-Chi doing?
What is the Chi-Chi doing?
Yeah, the only other thing notable in this episode is that Frieza uses that like energy ball thing
Yeah.
and hits him around all over the place.
Yeah.
He's like, if this thing hits anything other than me, it blows up. Like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Bum, 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 bum,
Yeah.
bum.
All right, so then 89 is Frieza's boast. What is his boast, Will?
Oh, did we skip Clash of the
No.
Superpowers, or did we just talk about that?
Yeah, we just talked about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Anything
Because
else,
that's
anything else happened in that episode that you
oh, I thought no, this is like where they go back to Earth. Because the ultimate battle, man, how did I lose track with you?
did I skip the ultimate battle? Yeah, maybe I did.
Because
Oh, did I skip? I might have skipped 87.
okay, but that
So
was what we
80,
what we were talking
yeah.
about. 87 was the lava thing happening, the frogs coming
Okay,
up
okay,
against
okay.
Bulma, and the thing you were talking about where he throws it and he's hanging onto the ledge. Like that all happens in the ultimate
Yes.
battle. Then the clash of the superpowers is where we were next.
Okay. Yeah, and I talked about the Kamehameha under the water.
Yes.
He kicks him into the mountain. Then he uses the energy ball and hits him all over the sky for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And Goku escapes last minute. I
Yes.
like that scene because they're like, oh no, that big explosion, right? He's like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You think he's dead, and then he's like, no, look over there. And it's like behind the smoke and rock, like Goku's like there.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
It was cool.
Okay, so then 89
Yeah.
is
The
Frieza's
one.
boast.
Yeah.
So what's his boast? What's he boasting, Will? Did you did you pick up on like why it's called Frieza's boast?
Yeah. It's I'm just trying to remember because they cut back in the other episode. They cut back to Chi Chi.
Mm.
All that stuff
Doesn't say it
happens.
on doesn't say it on here, but it's so unnotable that
Not in Frieza's boast in the Clash of the Superpowers.
they cut to Chi-Chi.
They cut the Chi Chi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think his boast was that uh he boasts that he won't use his hands and then uses his hands.
I don't
His his boast is like, I won't do even use my hands.
I think that was earlier.
That's this episode. This episode he tells me he's not going to use his hands.
Mm, hmm.
And at
Okay.
the end of this episode,
Goku
he's about
says,
he's
looks like
about
you had to use your other hand.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I okay, yeah, I don't remember. I thought that was earlier because I thought his boast was that he's really only using 1% of his full power.
This hasn't happened yet. No. What happens
No?
is
Okay.
they come back from the other episode where
Oh,
he
you're right. Yeah.
he knocks Goku around a little bit, like you said. He comes out of the dust relatively unharmed, and then he flies back over, and they're like, "Okay, here we go. We're gonna keep on fighting." And then when he gets over there, he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna use my hands."
That's
And
right.
he's
You're
like,
right. Yeah.
"Okay." And then right as they're about to start a new fight, they cut to Earth, and like Dr. Brief and Chi-Chi are all like trying to get into the spaceship is like broken,
Oh, yeah.
and Dr. Brief is like fixing it, and then all of the nonsense where they're all scared being in the ship, and then they go to lift off, and then it's like, well, no, it's not going to
I
lift off.
gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
Yadrobi. I like how Roshi, like every time Yadrobi's trying to leave, like Roshi grabs him and brings him back, and he's like, "You're not getting out of this one.
yeah, yes.
You're not leaving."
So
Oh
he's
boy. And
beating,
then they just convinced Chi-Chi that like, no, the ship's broke. We can't leave. And then Dr. Brief comes in. He's like, well, the ship's all fixed. You can leave.
yes, and
Yeah.
um, then the frog is with Bulma. Like they cut back, Frieza and Goku are. He's like using Frieza's tail against him. He's like spinning him around and stuff.
Chokes him, right? Doesn't he? Isn't this the one where he chokes Goku and he bites his tail?
I think that's at the later.
Oh,
That's at
all
the
right.
towards the end of the episode. He he's like fighting him, and then it cuts to Bulma, and she's on her bike,
I
and
knew there was something different about you.
she stops to eat, and she's eating something, and then gives him some food, and then gives him some chocolate, and he's like, and he's like eating the chocolate, and he's so happy. And then she's like, "Oh, I'll just make a universal translator." And
It
then
shows
puts
it shows like the flashback of her washing her face and he's holding like the towel for her.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's really
And
cool.
that happens, and then all of a sudden, I know I should have seen it coming, but she puts the
Mm.
translator on his thing, and he's like, and I was just like, huh, I don't understand why he's so happy that he can talk, and he was like, and it goes right into her mouth, and I was just like,
Oh, I can't believe you didn't see that coming. That's
I
so
did
funny.
not see it coming. I did not
That's
see it
cool.
coming.
That's cool though that you didn't.
I didn't even think about it, and I was like, no way, dude, like no way. They're making Ginyu be Bulma, and now it's like
Bulma. Yeah.
it was crazy to me.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
cool.
I don't know. I'm not saying it was better than anything else in the
No,
episode, but I was legitimately surprised by it.
that's cool. That's cool that you didn't see it coming and that you enjoyed it.
I did.
Yeah, because it's the same voice.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
They have him voicing it. Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Goku and Frieza. He strangles him, he bites the tail, and then Goku starts to like really beat Frieza up, and then Frieza does that thing where he like is flying through the air and he like looks at his hand and he like grips it really hard, and then he like and smashes Goku in the
Mm.
face. And he's like, huh, guess you had to use your hands after all, Frieza. And he's like, I will not do this anymore. I will not, no more playing around. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And that's how the
Yeah.
episode ends.
That's funny. That's pretty cool that you enjoyed the frog.
I really did.
Ginyu. And this is the first time Bulma's been like entertaining is when she's Ginyu.
Oh, yeah. I was very invested to see what they were going to do with it.
Yeah. The answer is not much.
They almost did something and then nothing. But I'm going to tell you something, and that's why this background, that's going to be the thing. but I can't talk about it yet. There
Okay,
was not
good.
there.
All right. So episode 90 is Bold and Fearless.
Bold and fearless.
Yeah. So Ginyu Bulma's on the bike and she comes flying over the hill.
Yeah.
Bulma the frog is holding on to the back of
Yeah,
the
which I
bike.
was surprised with. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, so this is the what I thought. This is when Frieza claims that he's only using 33% of his power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he says he's using 1% of his power and now he'll increase it to 50% of his maximum or
Yeah,
something.
he increases it to 50 to prove that he's not joking around.
Right.
And then Goku can't
Literally
even
do
touch him.
anything to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just getting smacked around pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they cut back to Chi Chi again, and now they're in the ship, and yeah, it does all that terrible stuff.
Uh-huh. And what's their plan? Their plan is they're going to Namek to get Gohan.
Yes.
Cool. Riveting stuff. I forgot that that was even a thing that happens. I
Yeah.
forgot that because I've seen, I remember them in their suits, but I could have swore that was like from a movie, but it's not.
No. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's fun that they're all in the jumpers and they're all like ready to go help their friends, but it's just like some of the most like complex, deep fighting that you've been waiting for like episodes is happening, and they're just like, let's cut back to these people here on the planet and just see what they're doing. And you're like, I don't need to see
Yeah.
any of this.
And here's the thing too, like couple things. Why couldn't King Kai speak to like Roshi and tell him like don't go to Namek? Like don't go up there. Like
Yeah.
it's really bad. Like you're not gonna do anything helpful. And also like couldn't they just have watch it like have Baba show them what's going on?
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah. I
The
don't know.
thing that was really crazy in this stretch that I was like, excuse me, was Ginyu says while he's inside Bulma's body that she can sense like
Yeah.
power levels.
I know that was weird, right?
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't know what that meant. I don't know what that'll be.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a wink wink at like woman's intuition or
Maybe.
it's weird. It's weird. He's like, "Oh, this is how they were reading power levels." And it's like, what? I didn't understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Bulma standing there and being like, "Oh yeah, get him, Frieza."
Yeah. It was weird. I didn't really care for that part. Um, you know, but then I don't know if, I think it's this one where he's like Gohan kind of like puts it together that he's
hmm
like, this is Ginyu talking.
Rabbit,
Yeah,
rabbit.
but it's
Yeah,
Bulma. He thinks Ginyu.
yeah,
He thinks the frog is Ginyu.
yeah. You can tell by how the frog is like stomping and pointing and
Yeah,
sassing around that, like, oh, that's clearly Bulma.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
good. And Gohan's supposed to be like the smartest there of all three of those guys.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then the
Do you
thing
like
that
Ginyu's girl voice?
yeah. Oh, I don't really know. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He like changes his pitch a little bit.
yeah.
And they're like,
But
that can't be Bulma. And then he's like, shut up, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, well, I guess Bulma's doing fine. God.
the thing that it's the thing that surprised me was the two things was I thought it was really interesting that they cut back to King Kai and all that, and they're like, well, it's okay. It's like Goku's really getting his butt handed to him, but he's not even using Kaioken. And then
Hmm.
King Kai is like, "You fool! He's been using it this whole time." And then they cut back to like battles, and it's showing him like
Like
glowing and
flash
Veggie
up
glowing, and
before he gets hit. Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting.
That's a cool technique that Goku like figured out how to do. Instead of using like the Kaioken the whole time and burning energy, he'll
Right,
literally use Kaioken like as he lands a blow or when he takes a blow.
right,
But yeah, I know that it's one of those things where it's like you as the audience are like you're like, man, yeah, well, Goku's not landing a punch, but he still has the Kaioken.
right.
And then it's like, oh no,
No, he doesn't.
no, he's been using it. You're like, oh, like that's not good. That's
Yeah.
really not good.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is gonna get crazy because then this in my background happens where
No,
they're
she's
like,
gonna.
oh man, that's Ginyu. And he's like, what? And he's like, "Ah," and he starts to do it, and then they're like, what's going to happen next week on Dragon Ball Z? Blah blah blah. And this is the thing that
Yeah,
we talked about at the top of the episode, is the next episode, it's like nothing's happening. And they're just
yeah,
like, la la la. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
is that you're acting really strange, Bulma? And I was like, what? Like
yeah,
you literally
yeah.
ended with yeah. So
With her about to do the whole change now, and it doesn't happen for a little bit. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is annoying. Yeah, so 91 is embodiment of fire. Like you said, it
Fire.
starts off and then they're just like, Bulma's acting really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I really, really enjoyed, and I know it's maybe lame to a lot of the fans, but I enjoyed it, was when is it Frieza? No, no, excuse me. Is it Vegeta?
No, he did.
I don't think it's Raditz. Maybe it's Raditz, but I think it's Vegeta. Where Gohan is going to get it. He's going to get basically killed.
Mm.
And Piccolo jumps in front and he's like,
Oh
no.
yeah.
And he gets like obliterated. To he protects Gohan.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think it's
that's how
Vegeta.
I felt when the body swap beam was being thrown at Piccolo, and Gohan was like, "Frog!" and he throws the frog. I was like, it's kind of a callback to him, like go Piccolo saving Gohan.
It is. It's a double callback because it's Gohan embodied his father by throwing a frog in front of the
Oh,
beam,
true. Yeah.
like Goku did with Vegeta,
Yeah.
and also like saving Piccolo. Yeah,
Yeah. So I kind of
that's
really
cool.
liked it. That's why I liked it so much. It was like, it was, and I know you're going to laugh at this. It was a short and to the point plot. It was
Yeah,
like Bulma with frogs. One of the frogs is Ginyu. Ginyu
yeah,
follows her. She puts a voice thing on. They body swap. They go find the guys. They get suspicious. They're like, that doesn't seem right. He tries to body swap with Piccolo. He turns back into a frog. I was
yeah.
like, thank you.
So you mean if there was like two more episodes with Ginyu walking
Right.
around as Bulma doing stuff, you'd be out.
I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
If he was like,
No,
let me go put on dresses and look at
ooh,
colors. Ooh,
I
yeah.
still got it.
Yeah, exactly. I did like how did he land off the motorbike or did he get ready to like power up or something? But he did like that funny pose. I think when he's getting off the motorbike, he was like coming out of the sky as Bulma, and he was like,
Yeah, it's
ah,
pretty
like,
funny. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, made me laugh.
It is funny. Yeah, it is funny. It's the best version of Bumble we've had on
True.
Namek.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but probably the thing that you were most excited to talk about, besides Vegeta's death, is the drowning sequence.
pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. And it's
I
not
was
one of those Barry, you just need to run faster moments. It's like a
right,
deserved like
right.
scene.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because it was like when it starts. and he was like, Krillin. I was like, what is happening? I was so confused what was happening.
JJ.
And then as it went on, I was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
seeing Frieza kill everybody if he dies. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay, that's what's happening here. And then Earth explodes, and he's like, ah. And I was just like, oh, okay, like he's must be like
Yeah.
hot to the touch too, because like it's steaming, but also like Frieza lets
It
go of
boils the
her.
water. Yeah. It's because he's full
And
of rage.
I actually the voice actor for Goku, the English
Hmm.
voice actor, when
Yeah.
he yells,
He's really good.
I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. He's notorious for like great like yells and power up sequences. Um,
Yeah, it was
he
good.
really starts to shine in this section,
Yeah.
but man, there are Goku moments that like I cannot wait for you to like see. Because Goku is such a, pure-hearted, happy-go-lucky
Oh
character,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
when he gets mad, you don't want any of that. And
Yeah,
it's
right,
so
right.
it's so good, yeah.
And I think too, the thing that was like, what's been enjoyable about it is like I've followed him as a little kid, so like I
Mm,
have like really good Goku history. Like it's not just like he's charging up. It's like, well, yeah, he can do anything he wants. It's like, no, yeah, I've been there from the whole ride, kind of a thing. So it's like
yeah.
I like that he literally like he remembers like everybody. Like Launch was in there in the sequence. He like, Launch is like laughing at it, like having a good time. He remembers like everybody, and I was like, oh, nice. Because like Korin's in
Yeah.
it, Kami's in it, Mr. Popo. They
Yeah, it's
show
cool,
all of
right?
their faces, and I was like, this is. I was really happy it wasn't just like even Bulma's parents, like everybody that
Hmm.
has been kind of meaningful to him.
What if they would have showed Bora?
Mm, Bora
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would have been cool,
would have been cool. Or even what's his name?
huh?
What's his
Ader,
huh?
Ader, the
No, no,
robot.
not Ader. No,
Ader
no,
in
the boy. What's
snow.
what's Bora's kid's name?
Oh, I don't know. Don't remember.
Inupu, right?
Yeah, Tupo or Tupu. What the heck was his name?
I was
Yeah,
just thinking because he was more
Nan. They show Nan in his village.
Upa.
Oopa, that's it. Nan's got water now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was just thinking that he he was a little close to Upa more than Bora. I like Bora, but I'm
mhm.
just thinking, but yeah.
Yeah, the duo would have been good.
But I was thinking it was really funny because like the thing happens and I was like, okay, or whatever. And then he has the whole sequence and I was like, oh, okay, this is where the episode's ending. Like this is why Caleb's having us end at this episode because like he's getting ready to do crazy things.
Mm.
And then it goes and he's like, ah, and he shoots like the blast out, and then Frieza's like, no, no. He's like trying to keep the blast contained, and he
Yeah.
can't, or he kind of does, and then it like burns his hands,
Yeah, he can't
and
hold
then
it
he's
back. It
like,
like, yeah, his hand is like smoking. He's like, that's not all. He's like, ah.
and
He's
that's
yeah,
how the
yeah.
episode
It's such
ends,
a
where
good
he's like,
ending. The narrator's
I
like,
was
is that
like,
all of
oh,
Goku's power?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's like, I got
That
more
was
for you, Frieza.
so I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm interested now.
So just remember that rage and anger from like thinking about losing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a good place to leave off.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the next section is pretty good. It's pretty good. This is kind of what
Okay.
we've been waiting for.
Cool.
Um, and there's some other stuff. So, I think the first 4 or 5 episodes. are really gonna be great.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but the end of the Frieza saga goes all the way to 107.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's what we are doing. I don't agree with that list. I don't think uh,
Okay.
well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of some filler and stuff in here for TV, but that's all right. So next time we're gonna do 92, which is Trump card,
Trump
and
card.
then 107, which is a spoiler, and I'm not gonna tell you what that
Okay.
title is.
Goku
Um,
dies.
no, no, it's no,
That's
nope,
it.
nope, nope. So that's what we're doing. So, yeah, about the same amount of episodes for next week. And then after that, we're gonna watch the Bardock movies.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty sweet. Yeah, and then after that, it's getting real good. We're skipping the Garlic Jr. saga because screw it. Um,
Or are we
I might,
skipping?
I might, I might have talked about it last time, but the Garlic Jr. saga is a follow-up to the Dragon Ball Z movie Dead Zone.
Okay.
And if you haven't watched the movie, it's meaningless.
I see.
It doesn't do anything, and then it just fills it just fills this weird gap between um
Okay.
a year of them getting the Dragon Balls
I see.
after the Namek stuff. And it's
Gotcha.
just it's horrible. So we're skipping it because we didn't watch the movie and we're not watching it's only like 7 episodes that they call like the Garlic Jr. saga. It's yeah,
Yeah.
so we're skipping that. And then we're gonna get right into the Trunks saga, which is one of my all-time favorite characters. So that'll be great. So yeah, next time we're doing wrapping up the Frieza saga.
Frieza.
Frieza. It's gonna be great. Then we're gonna meet his dad Cooler and his brother Icebox and his niece Ice Cube.
Nice.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
after the
care.
review, you have anything else extra that you want to
I
say or any different feelings toward things after I've told you were wrong about things or
mm, the in general, like I didn't dislike the sequence, the stretch of episodes. It was fine. There was a lot of stuff that happened in it that I legitimately did not see coming, like
mm-hmm.
Krillin getting gored,
Mm.
Dende healing people, um,
Dende dying.
Dende dying, Vegeta dying, um, Goku doing like a really crazy Kaioken thing, like maybe also partially like dying or something, like
Mm.
drowning or something, like that kind of stuff. I also didn't see the Ginyu change now with Bulma and then almost Piccolo. Like I didn't see any of that coming. And to be honest, I know that like this show really stretches out a lot of stuff. But I
Yeah.
legitimately, when I went to go sit down to watch it, I kind of just thought it was going to be like however many episodes, I don't know, like 12 episodes of just Frieza and Goku like punching each other, and
Yeah.
then cutting back to like Vegeta and Krillin being like, "Oh wow, I can't believe how powerful he is," and they still did that,
Yes.
but they did so many other little things in it that I just like I don't know what's coming. So like when they do pretty brutal or like
Hmm.
pretty they don't shy away from things that a lot of stories do. They killing off Dende and Vegeta
Yeah.
is pretty it's a pretty bold maneuver, to be honest.
Yep.
Like one's a child who's really sweet and awesome, and the other one is like just from my knowledge is like a huge main character. So it's like
Yeah.
it was
It's like
surprising.
when it's like when Krillin gets killed off by
Yes.
Tambourine in
Yeah,
Dragon
yes,
Ball. It's
yes,
like,
exactly.
whoa.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey, we, the
100%.
tournament's over, let's go eat. And then Goku's like, I don't know, I don't think Krillin's okay. And then he runs back and he's just dead. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So that's the one thing I've appreciated as we've continued on, and specifically Dragon Ball Z, is that either either Toriyama is like not to be underestimated because he kind of just does stuff kind of crazy, like he just does things like
Hmm.
he's gonna catch you off guard. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's interesting. It's been really fascinating to see where the story goes because like all the filler stuff is kind of annoying to me, but I understand that's just
Hmm.
how it's just how it translates to animation. I get it. But the thing that I always appreciate and what helps me keep coming back is that it is very much not like color by numbers.
No.
Like from an outside view looking in, you would think, oh, it's two guys punching each other and things blow up. And like you said, people scream and they charge up and then they keep punching. And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's not.
yes, but like it's a 70-30 thing, and the
Hmm.
30% that isn't like that is actually impactful. It's not the Chi Chi Master Roshi stuff where they're on the ship. Like they don't
Yeah.
cut between really cool stuff and then absolute garbage. It's like no, the 30% stuff is like you don't really see it coming just from
Yeah.
like an outsider's perspective.
And it's one of those things where it's like you still care about those. Like, so when it flashes back to Roshi and everybody, it's like I still care about those characters, you
Oh,
know?
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm vaguely interested in like how like they have no idea what's going on Namek and like
Right.
if anything, and it's like, yeah, I kind of care what how they feel, what
Of
they're
course. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. 100%.
yeah. Well, cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, look forward to next month's sitting down and talking to you about some more Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Dragon.
It's gonna
Yep.
be great.
It's gonna be really great.
Really great. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. And we will see you for the conclusion of the Frieza saga next month on the 19th, like usual. So, yeah, we'll
It
see
will
what
be.
happens. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
I think officially, too, I don't think I mentioned it, but when Goku comes out of the water, he's using Kaioken times 20.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
cool.
it is. Yep,
That's
yep,
cool.
yep.
Can I get in the frame just right? Let's see if I can do it.
Change. Yeah. Right in your mouth.
かけてくるよアップルのモンスター飛んでくるよ夏の香りエリア